All right, we should be live. We're live across Facebook, LunarCRUSH. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Periscope, Twitter, and we're also live for a second time on Theta TV. So if you're over there on Theta TV, I'll try to respond to some of those comments and get in there. But we got a super fun morning and evening for some of us on here show today on LunarCRUSH Live. We got João Gomes, right, from Utrust. Yeah. That's here. We'll be talking about payments. We're going to be talking about a little bit. I've got a bunch of questions for you. Being a project that was kind of out there in 2018 and took the crypto winter to actually build and launch something. Which congratulations, not many people did that. And then we've got Evan here from Alive and Kicking, Evan Kennedy, who is a cannabis brand and is using Utrust on their site now. So we got some good questions, and we want to talk about how that all worked and integration there. So we're super excited about that. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here today. And João, we want to kind of start with you a little bit and tell us a little bit about kind of your background. We always do the how did you get started in the business type deal. So we'd love to hear just a little bit about how you got involved with Utrust, how you got started in crypto, and why you love it.
Oh, that's a long story. So I'm currently head of marketing and growth at Utrust. I've been doing freelancing for a ton of years. Then I founded my own company called Epiphyte. It's a growth agency, and then we started working at Utrust, and then me and Utrust decided that okay, let's make this official and work as head of marketing and growth at Utrust. Long story short, I met Utrust 2018, I believe, when Utrust was doing their MVP in Amsterdam. One of the few cryptocurrency companies that did the ICO in 2017 and already had an MVP in 2018. I met the team, super passionate. I met Nuno, Philippe, the rest of the founders. And I immediately kind of fall in love with the project. You kind of notice when you talk with people that have a long-term vision for a new world, you immediately become passionate about that world. That was kind of happened to me. Another fun fact is that I passed on Bitcoin around 2011, I think. Around that time, I was in a shady Portuguese forum where people were talking about Bitcoin, and at that time, it was easy to mine and get Bitcoin initially, but I did that kind of missed opportunities where you say not worth the effort. And then here we are 10 years later, and FOMO kicked in, and I acknowledge that I should. I've made the effort to mine it. So definitely I don't want to miss any other opportunity in blockchain and crypto space. I knew about Bitcoin. I knew about blockchain. Obviously in 17 and 18, special blockchain was all over tech. I went to Web Summit, and blockchain and AI were the next big things. Everyone was talking about those topics, so I wanted to jump in on them, and it made total sense to join Utrust on this long-term project and vision to shape the future of payments.
So just to hop over as a missed opportunity, Evan, I want to hear your Bitcoin missed opportunity story, because I know you got one too.
Oh man, I'm the same thing. Like I started 2011 is when I learned about Bitcoin. And I wanted to throw like $50 in. I turned to my wife. I was like, hey, I heard about this thing. It's like cryptocurrency. I'm gonna throw like $50 at it and see where it's at. It was so just dirt cheap at the time. And she's like, no, we don't have it. We can't do that right now because we're, a lot younger. We didn't have less money, and we were like kind of tight on funds. And we're like, okay, let's just, she's like, I don't know what this thing is. It's like, okay. And then like 5 years later, and I was like, see, there's nothing I was telling you about. And so we finally started buying in like, I think it was 14, 15. But just that missed opportunity in 2011 of just not being able to get in super early has just been a heartbreak. I was lucky enough with at least Chainlink. I saw that in like the height of 2016, 17 when it was like $1.12, and I was hyping about it when it was going down, in the drought to, I think it was down to like 87 cents or even less than that. I was still hyping it up. So I'm stoked to see Link finally boom. I was right there, but I was wrong. I missed that Bitcoin. I even tried mining as well. I threw it on my own personal machine and was just mining here and there. Never got anything. And there was this thing back in the day called Bitcoin Faucet. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but I remember it was this, you could just go into the site, throw in your address, and they just send you free Bitcoin. And it was just like it was just small amounts, but they were just trying to help populate it at the time. And I showed up and I think I checked it out, and then went back a week later, and they were out of Bitcoin. They're like, "Hey, we're done. Thanks so much." And I was like, "Oh no!" So yeah.
I was gonna say, what if they were still running today?
Oh man, I wish. That was so great. Early times.
Yeah, good story.
Yeah, and at that time it was crazy difficult to buy Bitcoin. It was not that easy as it is right now. So yeah, definitely a long way until we reach this moment where you just throw in a credit card number and you can buy Bitcoin. Long time ago it was really tricky.
I want to know what the shady Portuguese forum was that you founded on, João. Was it?
Not gonna say. It's gonna no. Paid promotions are expensive on my side. Not gonna say.
For sure.
No, it's really just cool. An underground website. Crazy.
Yeah, no, we've all been there. So tell us a little bit about Utrust now. I mean, I know it seems like in the last couple of months, and we're out there tracking social feeds and social media, and we're looking at everything, and it seems like there's been a resurgence across DeFi. There's been a resurgence a little bit in crypto, and I think more people are awakening to cryptocurrency with the kind of macroeconomic environment that the world is in. I mean, have you seen a big uptick in what you guys are doing? Has it been some announcements? And then just tell us a little bit about what exactly does it do for the people out there that don't know what space you guys are in the industry. And I'll pull up your site here kind of as you're going through.
Yeah. Go ahead. So that's the website is something that we're really proud, because I believe that shows how we'll be shaping the future. And I love the look and feel of the website, and I think it's really clear of what we offer. So Utrust is one of those projects that was born in 2017. We worked really hard over the last couple of years to get to where we are right now. And you were mentioning that over the last couple of months, we noticed obviously an impact of our reach and awareness on the crypto space and out there. And I believe that's the result of all the hard work that we have been doing silently over the last couple of years. So I truly believe that a company like Utrust, if we want to achieve hyper growth, and that's something that we want to achieve, if we want to change the way payments are being done right now, to achieve that, you can't just focus on hype. You can't sustain hype for 3 years or 2 years without building anything. Right. And that's what we have been doing. It's building a payments platform that is not only about e-commerce right now. We have options for e-commerce. We are releasing our invoicing option in a beta program later this year. We are building new solutions, new products, or new sub-products from the products that we already have, with a clear focus of and this clear vision of democratizing payments with every transaction. So we want to lead the world to digital currencies adoption, and we are doing it in one of I believe, the best use cases for blockchain and crypto, that is payments, both e-commerce, B2B, borderless payments, cross-border payments. I think that's where we fit, and with a simple 1% fee, we are changing the world of payments.
So it's 1%. Just 1% fee. That's it.
Yeah, we have some campaigns that you might try to reach, and we offer 0% fee for the initial months. Those are kind of exclusive campaigns that we have been running for a couple of months. The usual fee is 1%, and that's something that is truly unique to blockchain and to Utrust is that usually on traditional payments like PayPal, Stripe, credit card payments, let's say, you pay between 3 and 11% of fees. And then if you count with chargebacks, that's a 40 billion business worldwide, where businesses lose money to chargebacks daily. It's a ton of money that gets lost from merchants. And with us, merchants get 99% of the value of their sales instead of getting it just 80% or 85 or 90%. So that's one huge benefit, and we leverage the power of blockchain to allow those fees. And obviously we partnered with global players like Benfica, Alternative Airlines, and even big players in crypto world like Dash, Digibyte, Uphold, and a ton of other players that to push this adoption of crypto payments worldwide.
And so the 1% fee is with Utrust. If you use Utrust, though,
what payments do you offer?
Go ahead,
Sorry,
John.
guys.
Well, I was going to ask what payment options are there? What coins do you accept?
Currently, we accept Dash, USDT, obviously our own token, and Bitcoin and Ethereum. We are also partners with Digibyte and will activate time in the future. We also announced a couple of weeks ago that we will have Elrond and Travala token ADA to our platform, basically. So yeah, we are working on a new version of our widget. One of the things that we noticed early on, and obviously as a startup, our product changed along the way. So it's obviously we are delivering on a white paper that was built in 2017, and we are achieving the goals of that white paper. We are providing a solution for payments for e-commerce and business worldwide. What we noticed is that it was really tricky for anyone to pay with cryptocurrencies in a website, in a merchant. So you either had to use that specific wallet that was compatible with that widget, or the UX from the payment widget was super complicated. So we wanted to streamline the process both for merchants and for buyers. And Evan can talk a little bit about how streamlined our process is on the merchant side, but also on the buyer side. We want to ensure that first, the currencies that we list on our widget are from strong communities that will bring more and more adoption to the crypto payments world. And on the second side, we keep the UX simple and super easy to use. So we want a seamless experience from buyers and sellers, and that's why we are rebuilding our widget to ensure that we have the ability to add more currencies and to list more currencies that can bring and leverage more adoption. But at the same time, we aren't one of those options where we have 100 currencies or 200 currencies to choose from, and that's a mess. So we want to keep our UX super clean to ensure that buyers are motivated to use it. Because if you try to use Stripe or any other traditional payment method, the truth is that it's simple, and crypto should be simple as that. And that's why we are doing what we are doing, is that we want to ensure that the experience is easy as it should, as we like to say.
Interesting. I like it.
And I saw in there, I think it was, so you're working with some of the e-commerce platforms. I mean, I saw like a jump seller on there, which is Shopify based. I don't know. I mean, I think, Evan, you guys are using using BigCommerce or someone else.
We use WooCommerce. Yeah.
And so maybe.
Yeah. I mean, to talk about, it was simple, man. It was probably one of the, easiest onboarding experiences that I've done for payments. We're a CBD brand and we sell in the US only. We pay, there's our site. We make these tiny little pre-rolls, the CBD only. We do have a cannabis THC version that's available in California. But these guys are available in the United States. And I've been looking for a crypto payment solution for a while, and there's a couple other ones out there, but I just was never very happy with those options. And then I stumbled across Utrust. I kind of learned about their token, and then learned about the platform, and just tried it out. Just spun it up and just, kind of use their plugin, which is a couple, and literally, as they said, as quickly as you could brew coffee, like that's no joke. You just kind of plug it in and it's turned on, it's ready to go. And I was like, okay, let's test it out. Let's actually put it through its paces. And that's what I liked most about it, was that the UI, that the experience for the consumer when they click through and actually make a purchase through crypto, was pretty flawless, pretty quick. It kind of just shoots you off, and then you can just kind of make the payment and you're done. I mean, like, and that's, for me as a brand owner, it's like I'm looking for the least amount of clicks, the least amount of action for someone to actually go through and like make a payment. And so it was nice to be able to have that option, just kind of just quickly kicks them over. They fill in, make a payment via crypto, and then they're done. And I get the order and I can ship out my product. So I really like it. I mean, I think great platform. I was really impressed.
And this is where I can get the Alive and Kicking dad hat as well that you're wearing, it looks like.
Yeah, this is the dad hat. I got t-shirts, bandanas. But we're doing mostly pre-rolls right now. They come in like little packs like that. They got 14 in a pack. There's my plug. And got some other stuff coming out pretty soon. So keep your eyes open. Shameless plug. Hey man, that's what it is.
So Evan, why crypto though?
Why crypto?
Yeah, why accept? I mean, you're in the US. I mean, is it, and I think this is going to speak to some retailers. I mean, why crypto? Why do you want to accept it? What are the advantages for you as a merchant?
I mean,
a
couple
retailer?
Things. Yeah, good question. So, I want to give like my customers a variety of ways to make payments. You know what I mean? If I could put like Venmo and Zelle and anything else, like I would just put them all out there. It's like, yeah, pay me however you want to pay me, because I don't care how I collect payment. I want to make it easier for the customer to make payment the way they want to make it. For me though, I like crypto because the fees are just significantly less than anything else. I mean, it's less than what we do on Amazon. It's less than what we do with our credit card, merchant, like significantly less than those. So, more of that money is able to come into like my pocket. I'm able to support the overall crypto industry, which I feel like that's a lot of the future. That's a rant for another day. But I think overall it's just better for the consumer and it's better for me. I really like having crypto payment available on the site. Obviously, you have to always keep credit cards on there just because that's predominant right now in the industry. For now, exactly. But if we can be one of the first few out there and be a leader and partner with a great brand like Utrust and say, hey, this is what we're all about, and try and promote that, and promote crypto payments, I think it just kind of helps grow everything. It helps grow our brand, helps grow their brand, helps grow the industry, helps the customers. So there's a lot of great benefits to having it.
Yeah, and you said you stumbled upon it. Oh, go ahead, João.
No, I would say that for merchants, I think that there are three unique advantages. Being able to tap into a new type of buyers that are extremely fanatic for this new market, and if they have the option to choose between a merchant that has crypto and with one that doesn't have crypto, they will be immediately feel more connected with the brand that has crypto. And that's truly unique to this space. I believe no one is passionate about credit cards or MasterCard or Visa like you have people passionate about Ethereum or Bitcoin. And another advantage is that you are immediately perceived as disruptor. So you are new, you are onboarding a new market, a new technology, and you are the first one. And that's a unique competitive advantage that we will have. And obviously the fees that are much lower if you use blockchain. And on this third option, you also kind of have the advantage of using this technology. And the way we built it is that for us, refunds are super seamless, and you don't need to worry about overpayments, underpayments, and all that. It's all taken care of by our technology. So that's another advantage that we see.
Evan, I got a business question for you because I know you have expenses. When you receive crypto, and those expenses, assuming those are taking place in US dollars. So when you're receiving these payments in crypto, do you intend on keeping all of the money in crypto or some of the money in crypto? Are you cashing it out? And how does that process work with Utrust? Because that's one of our issues we've had. We've accepted crypto and with some other providers, and we haven't had an instant ability to say, hey, I want to take 50% and turn it into cash, leave the rest in Bitcoin or anything like that. So what is your strategy as you accept crypto?
I'm cashing it out, and I'll defer, but for me, it's like, I want cash because everything I'm buying is in cash, right? So when I go buy flour, it's in cash. When I buy all my other stuff, it's in cash. Like my vendors aren't taking crypto as payment solutions. So it's like, I need to convert everything into USD because of that, unfortunately. But yeah, if I could keep some in crypto, I would. I think it's always good to have it in there. And if other people, if we could get more people to, use this platform and I can make payments in crypto, then it obviously be a lot easier just to kind of have all that connected. But for me, yeah, I just keep everything predominantly cash. I'm not sure if, can you keep money in the account in the crypto that's provided in, or I think it gets changed into the currency that you desire it, correct?
Mm-hmm. What happens right now, and this comes from feedback, and the way we approached the market initially was, okay, if we want to ensure that crypto reaches mass adoption, let's talk with big players, let's talk with merchants that already process millions to understand their pains, and ensure that we build a platform that fits their needs immediately in the short term. So that's what we built, and that's why we opt in to choose to provide settlements in fiat initially. And one thing that we got from the merchants' feedback is that, okay, I want to ensure that I'm protected from volatility. So please give me cash and convert it immediately after I get paid. And that's what we do. So we protect merchants from any kind of volatility, converting immediately what we receive in crypto to cash, and they are ensured they get the money that the customer paid. Actually, one of the things that we initially built is that on the merchant side, they would never see crypto. So you onboard Utrust, you accept crypto payments, but for you don't have any kind of hassle accepting crypto payments. You just accept crypto, but in the end, you get settled in USD, GBP, or any other currency that you want in your bank account. So you choose your IBAN, your SWIFT, and that's it. Right now, we are building that option to settle in crypto, obviously still protecting everyone from volatility, and we are getting feedback. And this is an interesting thing, is that during the bear market, no one was talking, okay, let me keep my crypto. So merchants were saying, okay, I want cash. Now we are seeing more and more merchants saying, okay, I want to keep crypto, just in case, just in case. So yeah, and I think if I were a merchant, yeah, I would say, okay, if my profit margin is 25% over my price, okay, I want to keep 25% in crypto, and the rest please send me cash so I can pay my suppliers in cash and keep the profits in crypto. So, but that would be something that I would do. So yeah, we are building that solution, and definitely something that Evan and all our merchants will get in the near future. It's one of the many things that we have coming up until the end of the year.
Have you thought about potentially creating a stable coin to go along with the utility token that you guys have?
We did that this year as April Fool. So yeah, we launched a stable coin as April Fool. It's not a real stable coin. We accept USD. Yeah, April Fool, yeah. We decided to launch a stable coin. Actually, we have a great idea from our community, our customer success manager, George, for a stable coin. I won't disclose details right now, but it's a really fun and interesting idea that might come up in the future from him or from Utrust. But right now, we already accept USDT. We are partners with Celo Alliance, so they also have their own stablecoin, and we prefer to take that way. We are here to enable this new ecosystem, and we want to partner, and that's why we believe that everyone should be united for adoption, and we prefer to work with partners that are really good at what they are doing. So that's why we partnered with Apple. That's why we are partners with Elrond, with Dash, with Digibyte, with Tether USDT, because we believe in the power of those communities. And yeah, I think we won't need a stablecoin right now. To pass, and this is my personal opinion. Okay, so this is my view. I think we need to work with partners that already have their own stable currencies, that already have a huge volume of transactions, and we just to tap into that, because the effort to educate and to sell and to enable this new stablecoin, it's much easier for us and quicker to focus on building a really strong payment solution and leverage from the partnership from players that are already out there doing an amazing job.
Very cool. Well, I did notice, and not to talk about price too much or anything like that, but just to pull up, you could see that, here's kind of Utrust. You could see why people might want to hold on to the token a little bit more in the last couple of months than they would have over there. I just wanted to pull up, there's this huge spike in social engagement that happened in late July. Was there some sort of big announcement that came back at that point that you guys had done in late July?
Honestly, I think that it was, and from the data that we get from you guys, but also from our own data sources, is that it was kind of a moment where all the stars aligned. We launched our on automatic onboarding, and people were able to automatically onboard output from around May. So we started as a soft launch, enabling people to just onboard the platform, and that's it. Then we announced that, okay, we are now on the WooCommerce and WordPress website. So any one of the 4 million WooCommerce and WordPress websites can now accept. And we started launching new things week after week. And that was it. We started getting noticed. One thing that I truly appreciate is the effort that and the way that our founder Nuno, our community management team, our customer success manager George, were able during this period to maintain an healthy community and an healthy conversation within our community. And that's something that is truly valuable for us, is our community and our token holders. We are here, and what I was saying in the beginning is that I believe that an hyper-growth company doesn't live only from hype. So you need to work hard to achieve that hyper-growth. And community is one of those pieces that you need to explain to people that are so passionate about you that, okay, we are working really hard. Please trust us. And we continually show up work. So we were during this period super transparent of what we are doing. We can keep everyone informed of our accomplishments and all that. So as soon as people starting noticing us, new people starting noticing us, for instance, we had Crypto Crow, one of our long-term supporters, mentioning us, and it was like the starting point or where other influencers starting to notice us. And it's much easier for us to reach that scale and that beautiful hockey stick curve or parabolic curve when you have the work done. So people can see that, okay, those guys are the real deal. And that's why there is no hype without work. Because as soon as people started noticing us, they saw, okay, those guys are partners with Magento. Those guys already have a product working. Those guys already are working with WordPress. Those guys are the real deal. We are working with players that transact millions and millions monthly. So this is another level for the crypto space.
I just want to point out, because you asked Joe end of July what happened, and I'm just looking through some of the posts, and it looks, I mean, yeah, we collect YouTube, Medium, Reddit, a whole bunch of things, but it looks like Twitter's where the action was, and it looks like, I mean, there was something with like they were giving 0% fees to WooCommerce stores. They had a PrestaShop integration, but it's pretty interesting. Right around that time, you had a blitz with like a lot of big influencers. Like I'm seeing like S. Coinaldo, Ivan on Tech. They're mentioning Crypto Differ. And so like you have some influencers that just kind of immediately all started talking around that same time. And it's what's also interesting, those metrics, it's all of them. It's not just engagement, it's volume, it's the number of contributors that are talking. So it's been rising ever since, but that's a really big time, that one day or two that you're noting there.
Yeah, and I think on the growth side, and it's an interesting phenomenon that we always need to be aware, is that in the end of the day, the true metrics that matters for us are transactions, are the number of new merchants and new buyers coming in, and that's obviously relevant. On the token side, obviously, it's important to have that reach and that awareness. And at that time, I remember that BlockFire posted a report about us, and that's where after CryptoCrow mentioning us on one of his videos, as I was saying, the stars kind of aligned. So we had the work, that's one of our stars. We have an incredible team, another star. Then we have our community that was always there pushing for us, that's another star. Then the influencers came in and another star. BlockFire came in and another star. So the universe kind of aligned to reach this moment. And for us, we keep pushing, we keep building new stuff. Truly incredible stuff that we want to release as soon as possible, and that's where the magic happens.
Talk a little bit about, if you could, just that transition from 2018 and the parabolic move. I mean, I know it's like you guys are one of those projects where you come out and there's a lot of hype, and then we have this kind of crypto winter, right? And you guys went into build mode, and it sounds like, by the way that you're talking, that you guys are very focused on being a startup and getting traction from, an actual like real world, not just like your crypto is out there doing things. It's you're actually trying to create partnerships and sell and get out there. I mean, what do you think was the catalyst for that internally at the business that allowed you guys to say, there's a North Star for us and we're going to go achieve that, regardless of what's happening in the crypto world, and we're kind of not paying attention to that. Can you talk a little bit about why you think that you guys have kind of found that North Star where a lot of people might not otherwise have found it?
I think it was part of our culture since the beginning, probably because our founders nurtured that culture inside the team. We also had amazing people that joined the team, like Sanya, that is now our CEO, Rodrigo. A lot of our developers are amazing. Even our compliance team does an incredible job in a difficult market. So I think it's part of our culture to be that startup that is focused on the long term. Having a unique vision and mission is also really good to ensure that we are always aligned with that North Star. And I think I don't see that as a pivoting moment in 2018 where suddenly we decided that, let's focus on the long term. I think that we are here to bring value to our token, obviously. We were born that way, and we pay attention, Even it was painful for us to watch, same way that it was for our community. But in the end, our end game is still the same, is to ensure that we build a solution for the next 50 years of payments. Same way that credit cards have been here for a long time, we want to build that solution that enables payments for the next 50 years or the next century. And that's unique for us. That's something that 1 year in a 50-year scale is nothing. So same way that if you look at Tesla stock, for a month it can be huge, but it can also drop. We are always playing the long-term game, and that's why we don't want to enter that game of who creates more hype or who creates more pre-announcements and all that kind of stuff, because we are here to build trust with the ones that trust us since the beginning. So that's something that we truly appreciate are the people that trusted us since 2017, that met us in 2018, 2019, and in 2020 again. Those are the ones that we are working daily, day in, day out, day out to ensure that we build a solution that accomplish their goals and our goals. So we know that token holders are different from buyers. That's something that we learned. Is that you can have an incredible idea and people buy a token holder supporting you, but in the end, they don't need to buy stuff on our merchants. One thing that is unique is that people are so passionate about us that they will support our merchants. When we launched with Benfica, and actually we keep seeing that, is that people that didn't knew Benfica, and Benfica is, okay, full disclosure, I'm a Benfica fan, but it's one of the biggest clubs in the world. And we have people from our community buying Benfica shirts just because they can buy it with crypto. And that's something unique from the communities, that sometimes they aren't buyers, but they become so passionate about our merchants that they will buy because they can, and they will use crypto to buy it. And they want to support us. That's something that it's beautiful.
I just want to say, because we just got a question from Crypto Krataz asking, are we allowed to ask questions? Absolutely, ask questions. And I'll also add that we mentioned it in a tweet, I think yesterday, but we will be giving away a LunarCRUSH t-shirt to one lucky winner who, if we answer their question. We're not going to give them to everyone because we don't have enough shirts, but we will give one shirt away to one lucky winner. So feel free to ask your questions in the chat or on Twitter.
Well, we've got one on here that I think is a kind of an interesting one, which is, will Utrust ever consider creating a point of sale device for merchants?
That's something that we look at it around end of 2018, beginning of 2019. That's still on our long-term roadmap. But right now, and that's something that we need to be aware, is that everyone can have, and we have incredible ideas, but then the reality kicks in, and we are talking in a world that is moving towards online. So that's where we are focusing most of our efforts. And the point of sale might come up in the future. It's on our long-term roadmap. We didn't kill it. But right now, we have a ton of other opportunities in the online world that we want to explore. And we will consider other options for the offline world of payments. POS, point of sale, is one of those options. There are others that we can explore to enable crypto payments in the real world, if offline is in fact the real world.
Yeah, that it is as business owners ourselves, I mean, it's something we think about a lot, is roadmap, right? And how do you formulate that, and listening to your customers and what's real and what's not. And it's always a fun game to go down, is to try and understand, what cross section of your customer base is really going to use something versus a nice to have, right? And you can't really build nice to have things. You have to build need to have things, especially as you're kind of creating that groundswell of traction in users.
Exactly, and that's where growth comes in. Is that if you have that growth mindset of building, measuring, and learning, that's on the long run. That's where successful products are built, is ensuring that we are building something that will make a difference in people's life, not just because it would make a difference in your own life, and because if you announce this, it will pump the token 10%. But in the end, you are just announcing something that you won't make. One thing that's for sure is that when we mention something, is something that we are really working on and building, and because we see traction there, and that's something that we are really passionate about, is building a product that people use and will make people's lives much easier, both merchants and buyers.
I got a question for you. I mean, I'm not sure if you release any of this publicly, or if you can, but like, how many merchants have signed up, and what kind of volume of payments are you processing? Can you give any insight on that?
Nope. One thing that I can say, being completely honest, is that we are seeing more and more merchants onboarding daily. we are announcing the ones that we select. To announce. We are building a directory to ensure that everyone will be able to know and to reach out. One thing that and this is kind of the same approach that Shopify did to e-commerce, is that we are here to enable a new ecosystem and to enable our users, both merchants and buyers. And we want to ensure that each of our merchants has the right visibility. And we don't just announce the big names. We want to ensure that everyone gets the deserved attention. And for us, all merchants are important and all sellers are important. So that's why, we are onboarding new merchants on a daily basis. We might plan to release a more detailed version of those numbers at the end of the year. We are still aligning the things, but what really matters for us is to see the traction and adoption, both on the sellers and buyer side, and that's what we are focusing on.
Well, maybe that's a good segue to say that, Evan, you really need to step it up and start creating a lot more transactions on there. And I know Evan does have to go, but I just wanted to give another little shout and say thanks for coming on. Everyone can check out BeAlivePicking.com.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. Had a good time. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Evan.
See you, Evan.
Now we could dive even further down the rabbit hole.
Great, he's gone finally.
No, it's very cool. And I did have a question around some of the partnerships and how you guys think about that geographically. Obviously with e-commerce, you've got some of the big names out there that are, covering a lot of the different sites. But is there kind of like a hit list of things you guys are looking at? Are small merchants just as important as big merchants? Obviously every customer is, but is there somewhat of a strategy to say, hey, we're going to kind of blanket this retail market and we're going to go for, maybe a mid to smaller size merchant first and go directly to these people? Or are you also trying to do some of these larger integrations into the Shopifys of the world and the Magentos of the world, which I think is now Adobe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, Magento is now an Adobe company. That's a great question. And our go-to-market strategy was clear since the beginning, is that we wanted to talk with big players and understand their needs before reaching mass markets. Why did we choose this path? Is that it was much clearer for us to what will the future look like if we tackle these big merchants. Initially, that's why we talked with Alternative Airlines, with other major players like Benfica and Phonehouse and other big names to understand their real needs and to understand what kind of solution we need to build to be scalable for the enterprise level. And we discovered really interesting things in that process that allowed us to now be able to open our doors to mass market. And one of those things is that, for instance, the overpayment and the underpayment experience, for instance, is something that worries people, both on the crypto world and not in the crypto world. And that was one of the things that we fixed, and is unique to us. And refunds are also one of the things that are unique in a seamless way for us. And at the same time, we built the plugins, we built the solutions for the small business and medium businesses of the world. We accept currencies that are equivalent to more than 90% of the world's GDP. So we cover most of the world. We accept payments from more than 184 countries. We are global, obviously. We focus over the last years, and we keep focusing on different verticals and specific verticals where we see more traction from payments and all that. That's something that we are working on. And if you want to read between the lines, you will see what kind of verticals we are focusing on. We have a clear idea of where we want to go, and that's where we are heading towards. So our business and our growth team are constantly focusing on merchants from targeted verticals worldwide. Obviously, Europe, US, Asia are big regions to tackle. but we also see opportunities, for instance, in LATAM, where inflation is super high, and we also see opportunities in Africa, where trying to buy stuff cross borders is a mess. It's completely unfair for people in Africa to pay a ton of money just to transfer money cross borders, and they pay much more than we pay in Europe. So it's completely unfair for the poorest region in the world pay that. So yeah, we have approaches for different verticals, and we believe in a world that can be more fair and more diverse, and we want to help shape that solution. That's why we also partnered with Cello, and this kind of partnerships allows us to be global within the verticals that we know have more traction and where we can really make a difference.
Is Utrust the company in Portugal right now, or is everyone distributed throughout the world? And how does that play into this, like the jurisdiction of where Utrust actually resides?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Utrust was born in Swiss. So it was a Swiss company. When during the ICO, obviously we are always looking for the most favorable, and with the jurisdictions with a more clear framework. That's completely not my business. So we can have another live stream with Philippe, our co-founder and chief compliance officer, just about jurisdictions and countries where crypto is more favorable. The team is spread around the world, so we are a remote team. We always were remote first. With COVID, we became, obviously, as most of the companies, a fully remote team. Most of our team is in Portugal. And one of the beautiful things in Portugal, and actually Cointelegraph wrote about that as well, is that Portugal is one of the most interesting countries for crypto enthusiasts. So definitely we were born on the right country. Our founders were born on right country. And we have people in Czech Republic. We had people in London. We are part of the 500 Startups and Alchemist Accelerator alumni. So we also have offices in San Francisco, and we are global, basically.
It's great to know.
It's very, very awesome. So tell us a little bit about, I mean, you consider yourself maybe a growth hacker. I mean, how are you approaching, just social media? I mean, like, what are you picking some networks? Are you pushing stuff out there? Are you talking to influencers, micro influencers? Tell us a little bit about how you see the market and the best way that you see to grow yourself retail wise. And then I do want to talk about your addiction to SpaceX too, because it looks like I just saw it. That you love, and which you're talking to two other people that literally, like, I have every subscribe and launch. I'm sending John the message every morning, like, don't miss the launch at 3:46 a.m. where we have to get up. But yeah, talk a little bit about
the launch off of Vandenberg Air Force Base, the launch up in the sky, the like colors. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, and now they are building a prototype of the Starship, with just like bare stainless steel in the middle of Texas, and people are looking at it. And I'm looking at their tests, like live stream tests, just barrels of steel exploding and seeing cool stuff. So yeah, but we can talk about that later. Definitely passionate about SpaceX, and especially their kind of growth hacking approach to the market. And that's something that I see a lot of similarities between Utrust and SpaceX in that sense, on the way we approach market. Is that we have a long list of old players in the payment space, and here comes the new guy in the street, trying to do something completely different way from what's used to be the way people were doing this kind of stuff. And obviously the markets are completely different. So especially our initial proposal of a B2B2C platform is really tricky to sell. because you always have the chicken and egg problem. And as a growth hacker, it's one of the most beautiful challenges I ever had in my life, is that you need to find a way at the same time that you convince sellers to accept payments in crypto. You have always news coming from crypto scams and shady stuff that happens on this market, and at the same time beautiful things that happen on the market with Satoshi vision for this technology and all that. And you need to ensure that sellers have that vision of, and educate them to the powers of this new technology. But at the same time, you need to convince sellers and buyers. And it's challenging to convince buyers to use their crypto when some of them, not to say most of them, perceive crypto as an investment and not as a transaction value. So those are challenges that our approach to the market was super lean, and we keep running experiments on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on our platform, on our social media, on our email marketing strategy, on our ad strategy, to understand what kind of messages and what kind of solutions resonate better with both sellers and buyers, and to understand that. And where we can.
I'd like to chime in and ask a question on this, because this is something that comes up a lot. Why would I spend my crypto? Why would I do that when it's my investment? And we've had, internally, we've had this discussion a lot with friends, with the industry, on other live streams. And are you seeing that vary per coin? Like, are you seeing that no one wants to spend their Bitcoin, but they will spend their Ethereum? Are you seeing like trends that you can talk about a little bit? Because this is a huge debate that a lot of people talk about. So if you have any other insights on that, that'd be really helpful. I think everyone would love to hear it.
I can disclose one thing. Most of our payments are done with Bitcoin. So people use more Bitcoin than other currencies to pay. And I think that there are two reasons for people to use and to pay with cryptocurrencies right now. And first, there is no excuse, because with stable coins you can use the equivalent amount of fiat to pay with this new technology. And one of the reasons for people to pay is that they believe in the future of this technology, and they want to move to a Bitcoin first, or crypto first, or digital currencies first world. And when you are engaged on this new vision, obviously you want to push for that adoption. And that's why we are always saying that we are pushing for adoption, and that kind of language helps people to spend and to understand that we all have a place in this new world, and a role that we need to execute to ensure that we all push for the adoption of this technology and this new means of payment. And in a second, you make profits. If you buy something that you need with crypto, you won't lose the money on fees and all that. So you buy $10, you get $10. You buy something that is worth $10 with Bitcoin or USDT, you get those $10. So that's another way. If you have crypto, this is not financial advisement, nothing at all. But if you have crypto, you should use that to pay online, because you won't lose that in exchange fees and all that. If you want to convert that to fiat, it's better to use that to buy online on our merchants, and only our merchants, and not anywhere else. So those are the advantages. Yeah,
it's a great point. I like that. It looks like we have a question from Charles Macias FS. If we can pop that one up. Explain how reverse staking will work. It looks like there's a couple of points on that on Twitter as well.
Yeah, I want to know that one too.
Wow.
I don't even know what that is.
So, putting things in perspective, this is something that I don't want to do any kind of pre-announcement. This is something that so one thing that we came to the conclusion is that we have really good token utilities, but those token utilities were, and I don't say too much dependent, but they were super dependent on the dimension of the markets. So most of our utilities are related to the platform. Obviously, it's the product that we are building and are super connected to our payment gateway. And for that, we need liquidity. We need a huge market on the crypto space. And obviously, in 2017, everyone was seeing crypto and crypto payments as a huge market that would surpass credit cards in 2020. That didn't happen. We can see it now. It will happen, obviously, because we are seeing those numbers grow every day, but not as quickly as expected in 2017. And that's why we started working on new utilities and updating our utilities for the token. And reverse staking is one of those new utilities or updated utilities that we will be releasing really soon. Likely along the month of September. We are as well. It's tricky to say, okay, we'll do this in 2 weeks or 1 week because there are a lot of moving pieces. But reverse staking is basically something completely different than another approach that, in my perspective, is even more aligned with Satoshi's vision for Bitcoin than the current staking models. Because what we are creating is the deflationary model, basically. So we won't be printing money. We don't want. We have most of our tokens in the market. So from the $500,000 that we already have locked 50 million. So most of the tokens are in the market, and we don't want to create an inflationary model. The reverse staking is a beautiful, and I think it's really, really cool deflationary model that will bring to the market, basically.
So you've got there's a $500 million max supply. It looks like 443 million in circulating supply. Exactly. And so you guys are almost kind of taking a note out of the DeFi book and creating a autonomous kind of deflationary piece and kind of labeling it reverse staking. So you're going to be potentially burning, it's a token burn of some sort, but in a reverse stake that with every token that's burnt is adding value back to the entire network of people, of token holders. Does that sound?
Yeah, we'll release the details.
Some tokenomic metric that you guys use and decide, but essentially that's kind of how. Very, very cool. I love that.
Yeah, and obviously this is basic economics, is scarcity. So if you have scarcity, you increase the value, but that's basically it. Then Nuno mentioned that in one of his recent AMAs with the Moonwalker.
When will the details be released, and when does this go into effect?
We want this to come into effect as soon as possible. We are working on the final details because this will be aligned with an update to our app that's coming in. We are working with incredible partners to build this into our next app. So definitely something that the roadmap is on the final steps. So I believe that during September we'll release this.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're coming up on the hour here, João. I just really appreciate you coming on and talking to us and talking through everything. And man, I really hope we can have you on again. And maybe when some announcements about the future, we'll get you back on here, and maybe we can we'll just like coincide a live stream of the next, like the SpaceX launch, because man, I would love to we just get commentary on that and just sit there. I mean, shoot, if people are all over Theta TV just watching gamers, I mean, why would they watch us geek out over it, So well, cool, man. Well, hey, if you want to just let everyone know kind of where to find you again, we'll post everything in the comments, but maybe let everyone know kind of where to find you on Twitter and wherever else you're at.
Yeah, you can find me on my Twitter handle is the one that I have on the screen. But Utrust is much more interesting than me. So follow Utrust on on social media. Just type Utrust, you'll find our verified accounts. Ensure that you see that beautiful verified symbol next to our name. If you're on Telegram, we are verified on Telegram, so that's something that we are proud of. So follow us as well on Telegram and all over social media. If you want to test our platform, and if you are a merchant or even a seller that has online businesses, feel free to reach out to us. Go to our website, utrust.com. You can onboard our platform or just contact our sales team, and happy to have you on board. Thank you for having me, and definitely let's watch SpaceX launch and landing together.
All right, my man. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone that came in to watch today. We really appreciate the viewership. Take care, everyone.